All right, guys, second series. Now let's talk about the bass. How do you get your bass to sound good in the mix? If you have a live bass guitar, I'll always try to do like a malting, like a separating frequency, or just do like a parallel processing of the bass that you have. And it depends on what the bass, if it's a live, bass guitar, it depends on what the bass is doing in the groove. If the bass is just following the kick, just like boom, boom, it's just following the kick, doesn't have that a lot of melodic notes, you want to make sure you take care of the really low part of the bass. You remember when we did the first series of the first episode for the kick? We split the kick into the three parts. If you haven't watched that, you go watch that so you understand. Because your bass and your kick, they're like brothers and sisters. They work together. If your kick, for example, has a lot of knock to it and less sub, and this bass line that we have right now is just supporting the groove, like boom. So you wanna make sure your bass is on the opposite end of what the kick is. For example, in the first series we talk about the kick dominating three frequency spots. So if your kick has a lot of 80 downward, then you put your bass on the 80 upward. You get that? But if your kick is more of a knocky kick, like punchy or knocky on the 80 all the way to 150, then you wanna let your bass do the opposite. Let your bass sit around 80 downward. So when the groove is doing boom, so they're both sitting together, they're not conflicting with each other. That's the first mindset and philosophy you have to have when you mix in a bass or an 808 or a bass, like a live bass that's just grooving.